Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. This disclaimer, this is not legal advice. I'm not giving you no lifestyle advice. Seek a competent lawyer, seek a banker who are professionals and licensed. The forms and opinions that come from out of here is based solely on me. So hold me indemnity of being harmless to any injury you may cause for taking the information and advice that you get from me. It's just for educational purposes. You go and do your own research and independent your own person. With that all being said, let's get to the lesson. Okay. Sorry for all the movements. I'm just really excited about this short lesson. We're gonna be talking about Leviathan. And what is transpiring right now, what's going on. Because there are forces that are trying to complete this system of Leviathan, which in Leviathan is a monster, a sea creature, and sea is SEA, right? Sea is commerce equals people equals contract covenant equals law equals bond. Okay, so I want to show you how this system of Leviathan, right? Because we know, those who are in the know, if you don't know, that Leviathan, or anytime you see I'm gonna erase this. Anytime you see in the Bible where it talks about a kingdom and some type of beast, it's a system. So monsters in the Bible, monsters, right? Monsters or armies, right? Or nations, we're gonna say that because there's hegemons, like the Persian nation when we had Nebuchadnezzar nation, Babylonian nation. All these nations fall under. In the book of Daniel, you'll see the statue of Nebuchadnezzar. That is a form of Leviathan, but that's a form of Leviathan on the land. Today we're going to talk about a form of Leviathan on the sea, or a man who is riding on a beast in the sea of commerce, or on the land grant power. So like I said, Leviathan is systems, right? Systems of government and organizations. I'm just going to put organizations. So that's what Leviathan is. Systems and governments of organization. Okay. Now, 4 different realms of Leviathan. Though Leviathan is a sea monster, there's also a monster of the. There's also a monster from the sea that comes on the land. Like an alligator. That would be a type of monster that is in the sea and both comes on land. Now God has stated in his law that the sea shall not overtake. I'm not going to get into much of that. I'm just going to tell you that that's one of the laws you should look at. The sea shall not overtake the land, and the land shall not overtake the sea. You are the land. If there is too much sea, right, or commerce, right, it can bond, right? Because remember I said bond, law, bond the people, because sea means people, right? And drown them in debt, which is bondage. So the sea of commerce can bond people and drown them in debt. So that's what we're living in now. Before, we lived under a monarchy. where the king was responsible for the things of the kingdom, and if he didn't keep his finances right and people right, the whole kingdom would get either overrun or he would lose everything. But we don't live in that system anymore. We're going to the fullness of freedom for each individual, each man, man for man. That's in the coming kingdom that's coming now after these few years, where you have to be responsible in keeping the 10 Commandments. All those who are outside of the kingdom will still be learning how to keep the commandments so that they can operate in this new world system that the Most High is setting up. So Leviathan, okay? Leviathan is a big creature, right? It's not a bad creature. It's the actors who act upon within the creature that give it a bad rap or bad system, okay? Because they don't live on principles of covenant and bondage, or principles of truth, truth and righteousness, or just and unjust. Meaning that you will perform the words of what you said. You will perform the bonds of your words of what you said. So that's the problem what we have on that front. It's a monster. It's a sea monster. Okay, sea monster again, and it has its tentacles in commerce. Okay, now the sea affects the land and the land affects the sea. Overcome the other, meaning there has to be a failing of commerce, right, so that it doesn't overtake those who are on the land, or vice versa. That's why we have, when you have a civil war, overtaking the sea, meaning there's a breakdown in commerce. Okay, there's a breakdown in commerce when you go in the civil war. And right now we're in a soft civil war, and not only that, we're at the last stages of which one we have the locusts coming in, which is signified by immigration, which they will come in, they will eat up the resources. Basically it's an invasion, just like what happened in Egypt. When Egypt started to fall apart, you had those up in Goshen, the Hebrews, our ancestors, who was the labor, the ox. That would be the ox. This is the labor. This is ox is labor, or servant, slave, as we use today on the plantation, right? Displays all these characteristics, you know, because he can also end up in slavery or in debt to someone. Excuse me. Then you have man himself, and these animals represents the different aspects of man that he operates in. You know, ox is strong, he's powerful, you know, servant in that capacity. Man displays all these attributes. Service, power, spirituality, and foresight, and this signifies rulership. You know, king or queenship, king or queen, right? So then you have eagle, right, which is freedom, liberty, and responsibility. Right, that's what comes with those. I skip man. Man encompasses both temporal and spiritual, and they are signified by these animals here. Okay, so that's what we have there. I think I might have got disconnected here, but I'm gonna keep going and get through it. I'm almost done anyway, but I'm gonna get through it. So that's what Leviathan is. It's a sea monster in commerce. So you have to learn how to control that sea monster, that Leviathan, so that it won't overtake you. All right. Oh, here's a good book. It talks about Leviathan, gives you the concepts of Leviathan. This is one of the best books that you can get on political civics theory, because it not only gives you political civics from a secular point of view, but from biblical point of view, showing you the law of nature, which is God's law, the law that God has placed there for nature, which is natural law. Natural law being that, you know, if someone wants to harm me, then it's naturally for you to defend yourself. And then you have God's law, which He instituted the 10 Commandments and the 2 great laws. And then you have individual Leviathan systems, laws, Constitution, Bill of Rights, rights of the people, you know, however the structure of your government or your free national Constitution will govern the conduct of the people, both on land and sea. Okay, so that's what Leviathan is. I hope that you will tune in and pick up some more info as we go throughout these series talking about Leviathan and the laws and how it affects you, and how that you can protect yourself but also operate within this world, being just and lawful and not causing injury to others and not allowing injury to happen to yourself, especially without your consent. So Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time.